In this video, I will tell you everything you need to know about all the Arc enemies that are crawling, flying and jumping around you in arcraiders. We will start from the weakest ones such as the ticks and pups and end with the strongest and most dangerous ones such as the Rocketeers and the Queen. And don't dismiss the first ones because when you are topside you are never truly safe and even the weakest enemy can end your raid early. To be clear, this video released before the full game is out, so anything is subject to change. For example, this tower looking arc has been revealed in a trailer, but we have never seen it in game so far. But no matter what happens, what you will learn today will definitely help you through your journey in the Rust Belt. Shoutouts to my YouTube members and special shoutouts to my tier 2 and tier 3 members TJ and Exotic Spoon. And on that note, let's get started. Alright, so before we talk about each arc individually, here are some things that apply to almost all of them. Most arcs have lights, which indicate their current state. Blue or white means neutral, simply patrolling around. Orange means alerted, but not attacking yet. And red means about to attack or currently attacking. Some arc enemies respawn during the raid, and I don't know yet how this system works exactly, but you could clear a room and come back to it later with brand new enemies inside, including turrets, which is kinda weird since they cannot even move. And finally, every arc that is destroyed can be looted, and most of them yield arc power cells, which allow you to recharge 2 shield bars when used. And some even yield drives that can be used as grenades with effects similar to the arcs they come from. Alright, now let's talk about each arc in depth. First, the tick, because ticks are the smallest arc and have no armor whatsoever, allowing you to destroy them in 1 or 2 shots from any gun or with a single melee hit. If you find a tick, there is usually more nearby, and they only spawn indoors. It hides on walls and ceilings without moving, but makes an insect-like noise that gives away its position when detecting a radar. And if you get too close to one, it will start moving around rapidly, making it hard to hit. After a few moments, it will run towards you and jump on your face, dealing constant damage to both your health and your shield. You can fight it off by holding your interact key for about 1 second, which will make it detach and run away. And since there is no friendly fire, a teammate can also shoot or melee it off of you. The best way to kill a tick is to simply shoot it before it even moves, and if it's already moving, pull out your melee weapon and strike it as it's jumping on you. Just like the tick, the pup has no armor, only spawns indoors and can be destroyed with a single or 2 shots from any gun or a melee hit. It rolls around to detect raiders, and once it does, it rolls extremely fast towards them, while producing beeping sounds that get faster the closest it gets. Once the target is reached, the pup stops for half a second and explodes, which deals a massive amount of area damage to both health and shields. Destroying the pup will not cause any damage around it, so using your melee weapon is a viable strategy. To be safer though, shoot it while it's patrolling or moving towards you. And if one is about to explode, a perfectly timed dodge roll can save you from taking any damage, and then it will have exploded, so it will be dead. The fireball only spawns indoors and rolls around to detect raiders. Once it does, it rolls towards its target, but slower than the pup does. And when the target is reached, the fireball opens up and starts shooting fire, which deals a lot of lingering damage to health and shields. The fireball has a strong armor that protects its core, and to know if your weapon is efficient against arc armor, select it in your inventory and check its stats where it tells you exactly that. For example, a Stitcher will require up to 3 magazines to pierce it, while a Pharaoh can make a fireball explode in a single shot. If you want more tips and tricks about looting, maps and useful stuff in general, I'm making a lot of educational content on arcraiders right now, so if you enjoyed this video so far, I would really appreciate your support in the form of subscribing to my channel and leaving your feedback in the comments. Thank you so much. When the fireball explodes, it creates a circle of fire on the floor around it, which can burn raiders and arcs, meaning using your melee weapon to kill it is a very bad idea, as you will get damaged. If it turns out your weapon is bad against arc armor, you can wait for the fireball to open before it attacks, which reveals its weak point, and then you can shoot it. This enemy yields a fireball burner, helpful in itself, and also required for an early quest. The Surveyor is the last rolling enemy of the list. It only spawns outdoors, where you will mostly see it open with its core exposed and a blue beam coming out of it. It's much bigger than the pup and fireball and has a very strong armor you need to shoot off to reach the core. Upon detecting raiders, it will either roll and bump into them to deal damage, or roll away and settle again elsewhere far away. It's too fast to keep up with it by running, so you will need to kill it in a single assault or look for it again after it escapes. The best way to kill one is to use high burst damage on its exposed core while it's open, so it's dead before it has time to wake up, close and roll away. The turret is a static armored arc that watches an area and waits for raiders to go through it. It can be recognized from the blue cone of light it emits when looking for a target, and it mostly spawns indoors. When a raider steps into the detection range, the turret's light turns orange until it can lock onto the target, and when it does, the light turns red, and after about a second, the turret starts firing continuously until sight of the raider is lost, and the cycle repeats if it detects a target again. To destroy it, simply shoot it until the light turns red, at which point you just need to take cover. Wait a bit for it to stop shooting, and repeat. And if you manage to sneak under it, you can also melee it to death. What? What the fuck? The Sentinel is the turret's cooler sister. It locks onto you from a long distance as indicated by a few lasers and fires a sniper round when the lasers are accumulated into a single red one. Its damage is extremely high, but overall it's pretty easy to beat. Basically, the Sentinel is very noisy and the lasers are very visible, so you will not get shot by surprise, and simply hiding behind cover between shots or dodge rolling at the correct time will allow you to avoid taking any damage. The threat is actually more the fact that it makes so much noise and points directly at you, which allows other raiders to locate you easily, while it keeps applying pressure to you until it's destroyed. The best way to beat a Sentinel is to simply go around it and swing at it with your melee weapon, but if it's not possible, shoot it with a high penetration gun while it's busy reloading. The Snitch is an armored, flying arc that cannot deal damage to you. Instead, it patrols around and calls reinforcements if a raider stays in its detection range for too long. When its lights turn red, you only have a few seconds left to destroy it, and when a laser beam is sent to the sky, reinforcement is arriving, usually made up of a mix of 2 to 3 Wasps and Hornets. The Snitch yields a drive, which you can throw like a grenade, and it will call 2 Wasps after a few seconds. This effect can be used to turn arcs against other raiders. To beat a Snitch, simply shoot 2 armor plates and the rotors under them, and it will crash on its own, and if that's not happening fast enough, simply shoot it until it explodes. The Wasp is a flying arc with no armor, which shoots bullets at raiders it detects. It's seemingly weak, but will make your life miserable if you are already busy fighting something else. Because it has no armor and is a flying arc, simply destroying 2 of its 4 rotors will send it crashing down. Its drive can be looted and then thrown as some kind of mine which you have to shoot to create a small explosion. The Hornet is an armored version of the Wasp which can also stun you. Every few seconds it sends a tiny electric projectile towards its target which stuns and damages it a lot upon hitting it. The most efficient way to take a Hornet down is to shoot at the 2 back rotors which don't have armor. If you find it too hard or if you have enough bullets, you can also shoot the armor off the front 2 rotors and destroy those instead. The Hornet driver allows you to stun arcs for 10 seconds and raiders for 2 seconds when hit with it, which is extremely helpful when trying to take down the next few enemies in this list. The Leaper, oh man, previously called the Bison in Texas 2 and usually called the Spider by players, is an arc with 4 huge legs and a small core that resembles an eyeball. It only spawns outdoors and attacks by jumping at raiders, and it can cross surprisingly long distances in a very short time by doing so. It deals damage by striking raiders with its legs upon landing and then charges up for a few moments before raising a pulse which damages anyone that stays too close. To easily take a Leaper down, simply stay indoors where it will be too big to reach you and shoot the eye with guns that have high arc armor penetration. It will start smoking, then burning and then explode. The Bastion is a huge, heavily armored enemy that moves very slowly. It can only spawn outdoors, and it basically behaves like a turret, except it has legs to follow you. Its weak points are the yellow joints in its legs and behind its body. Destroying a leg joint will stun the Bastion for a few moments and will hinder its movement. But destroying the weak spot in the back will make it explode, so it's preferable to shoot that. Because the Bastion can only attack a single target at a time, just like turrets, and since its weak point isn't back, you should never face it alone. Instead, go around it with 2 raiders or more, and while it's busy shooting one of you, the other ones shoot the legs or the back, and as long as you have good cover and people helping you, it's not too hard to win that fight. Now, a more dangerous arc is the Rocketeer, and it's in the top 3 for a reason. It flies around, has armor around its 4 rotors, and if it spots you while you are unprepared and outdoors, you are basically dead. It's very slow and patrols around, waiting to be alerted by noise or to see raiders. When it does, its light turns orange and moves towards whatever alerted it. And when it turns red, it will start targeting raiders with lasers, similar to the Sentinels. Once the lasers have merged, the Rocketeer fires 1 to 4 high-speed, high-damage rockets to the target location. The rockets are fired in a straight line, so the best way to dodge them is to turn 90 degrees as soon as it's fired. Running or dodge rolling is enough to avoid any damage then, but that monster will not stop following you and firing at you until you reach cover, meaning you will run out of stamina eventually. To beat the Rocketeer, do exactly like with other flank arcs. Aim for the 2 front rotors with high armor penetration rounds until they explode. The Rocketeer will then fall to the ground and you can melee it to death if it has not exploded yet. And you should also always fight it from under cover, such as buildings and extraction elevators, in order to be able to easily take cover and hide from any rocket thrown your way. Oh, and you should probably never fight it alone. The Bombardier is the explosive variant of the Bastion, always followed by 2 spotter drones which resemble Snitches. If these detect you, they will follow you relentlessly, marking your position every few seconds. Whenever a position is marked, the Bombardier will fire a rocket at that location, which deals high explosive damage. To beat the Bombardier, you'll need to destroy the weak spot in its back, and exactly like for the Bastion, you should get help from other raiders to make that easier. First, you should destroy the spotter drones, so that the Bombardier only fires a single rocket at a time, rather than 3. It will also make it require line of sight with its targets. Just know that spotter drones respawn every like 20 to 30 seconds, so you need to keep destroying them. Then, while it's shooting at someone else, fire at its leg joints to stun it or at its back to destroy it. The Bombardier yields explosive rounds for what seems to be a grenade launcher, which has been shown in trailers and teasers as well as concept art, but we haven't had an occasion to try it yet. It might be the only way to obtain this ammo, but until the game releases, nothing is certain. And finally, the Queen is the biggest, strongest, most dangerous enemy in the game so far. She is usually surrounded by a Rocketeer and a few Wasps and Hornets, and she guards the Harvester and does not leave its proximity. The Harvester deserves its own video, but basically it's a very dangerous area guarded by the Queen where you need to solve a little puzzle to come out alive. It contains a lot of valuable arc loot and even blueprints and energy ammo for an energy gun. Back to the Queen. She has multiple weak spots, notably the legs and a ball that pops up from the top of her head whenever she is using her laser attack. The laser deals high damage to targets up to a few hundred meters away and leaves fire on the ground. She also has a homing rocket attack which will target raiders and explode a few moments after landing, dealing massive area damage and spreading fire around. And finally, due to her sheer size and weight, she can simply stomp you, which will make you fall to the ground and lose a big amount of health and shields. She also has an extremely high amount of health, meaning that fighting her alone is basically impossible. Even 3 raiders will need a full raid, a lot of preparation and a lot of ammo to be able to succeed, on top of risking being attacked by other squads. Because of this, the best strategy is to have multiple squads collaborating to take her down, all firing at her weak points together and alternating drawing her attention away from others. The Queen yields some of the rarest items in the game, notably the Queen Reactor and Magnetic Accelerator, which are both required to craft top tier weapons and might even be needed for endgame content such as a final quest. And that's it for the arc enemies we know about so far. If this video was helpful to you in any way, please subscribe, as I will be making way more educational content like this in the near future. Notably a new episode of my arcraiders tips and tricks. And if you really like my stuff, please consider leaving a like, a comment and even sharing it around. Thank you so much for your support, and I will see you topside, raiders.